Let me just go ahead and kick this thing off. Welcome to TimeBolt Office Hours on February 26, 2026. You are live with Doug and Quinston. We're here to answer questions, check your workflows, and generally just make sure that you get the best out of TimeBolt. And today we have Grant on the call. I understand that. How you doing, Grant? Nice to meet you.
Good, likewise.
You have a channel that's, what's your channel's name?
I'm on YouTube. My channel is called Dolls to Remember, and I do toy reviews, specifically fashion dolls. And
Nice.
I spend so much time editing my videos, and TimeBolt was exactly what I've been looking for. So
Brilliant.
I'm looking to optimize it and try to get the most out of it.
Fantastic. I'll have to ask my daughter if she watches big into dolls. She's 9, and she might watch your channel. You got a great following, great channel, great content. So I know that we wanted to talk about Stitch and your particular workflow, which has to involve capturing a number of videos in succession, not just one long video. Can you explain a little bit about your workflow?
Totally. I tend to record just multiple clips. I will get in front of the camera, record, do a little bit, stop, and then maybe readjust things, start again. Or maybe I'm just recording over a couple of days. Sometimes there's a lot of stuff that I want to fit into one video, so I shoot just a little bit one day, a little bit another day, and then I would go into Final Cut Pro and take all the clips and then just edit them together.
In the end, how long is your video? Just so we can get kind of some context on this.
So in the end, the goal is for my videos to be around 45 minutes, maybe 1 hour max, but it's about like sometimes 3 to 5 hours of recorded content.
That's what we always said. Are you scripted or unscripted? I guess you'd be unscripted.
No, usually I'm unscripted and it's just like on the spot. I'm trying to say like, how do I want to say this? I say it and then I might tweak it and say it again. So I've tried a little bit of the false start and the
retake detection.
So you'll have 5 hours of video that essentially cuts down into one. And about how many videos within that 5 hours do you think how many videos make up that 5 hours?
Usually it could be 4 videos. Since I began using TimeBolt, I've tried to be like, all right, I'm not going to stop the video. I'm just going to keep it going as I may be doing some behind the scenes, like taking things off the table, putting new things on. But sometimes it can be 2 to 5 different video clips.
No, that absolutely makes sense.
How familiar are you with Final Cut Pro?
I feel like I know the basics, and whenever there's something that I want to do, I'll just try to on the spot look up how to do it.
Have you encountered something, an FCP XML file, which you have to open separately? What that means, then you have like crossed a filter essentially. I don't know about the XML files.
Yes, using TimeBolt is how I learned about it.
Okay.
When I do TimeBolt, I'll just take one of those video clips and I'll do the whole TimeBolt thing, and then I export it as the XML or the XML.
Yeah, FCP XML.
Exactly. And then I bring it into Final Cut, and each one becomes their own project. Ultimately, my goal is it's just one project.
A nifty trick is to just copy the clips from that one to this one. So you open the first one, you copy it, and just generally that's how you do it. But with Stitch, I think what you can do is you can just like put everything into one window and just like sequentially.
That's curious. I wasn't sure if Stitch would help. So
that might I think Quincy, you nailed it on the head. It's Stitch. We made Stitch initially to combine multiple takes without having to render multiple times and only render once. So Stitch, how it's typically used. Can I just go ahead and show you? Because this isn't your workflow, but I just want to show you how it's typically used. And then this is how features get built and things get done, okay? Just like you showing up and explaining what your use cases are. But with Stitch, when I open Stitch, here's an example kind of workflow where I was doing something with video messaging where I had 4 different videos, or I guess 5 different videos. What would happen is I'd throw this first one in to TimeBolt, and I would get the cuts made, and we could kind of go through and talk about how to use TimeBolt at like how to actually work with the functionality and work with the keys, because I think we could really probably help with some of those things. But we basically were able to put this in TimeBolt. We generate the cuts. After I do my check, do any type of automations, stuff like that, I can then, once the cuts are made for this file, I can then save timeline cuts, and that saves that as a JSON file once the cuts are made. So imagine that I do the same process for every one of my videos, for all 5 of these videos. Now I've got the raw file plus the JSON file with just the cuts. Now I want to open up Stitch, and I haven't rendered anything yet, right? Like I haven't rendered anything. That was instantaneous saving JSON files, which is one of the big reasons for Stitch. So what I would do is I would drop each one of my 4, I'll just do 4. So I would drop each one of my files in. After I recorded them, I would name them whatever their name was, _1, 2, 3, 4. So then that way I can understand generally what position they'd hold in Stitch. And now what I'll do is for each one of these, I go back and I apply the JSON file. So this.
Oh, you didn't select the first one. No, you didn't select it.
There we go. My bad. But JSON file would have been funny. Video 1. What this will do is this applies just the cuts. So I can go here and hit. This video course is about how to send rapid video messages inside TimeBolt. Since before 2019, it's been As you can see, you can actually preview the results. So I go through with each one of these and apply the JSON file, video 2, video 3.
Move. I think you did something else.
JSON file, and then this would be our fourth one. Now, I'm not going to take a whole bunch of time on settings. So as you can see, these are all cut up, a third JSON file here. But now all of these will essentially play in sequence and exactly the way that you had it cut for the original video file. And again, I haven't actually rendered anything, so no time taken there. At this point, for something like unscripted video, I can hit activate turbo mode. And I don't know, have you think about turbo mode, Grant?
Oh, no. I've seen it, but I don't know.
Okay, I'm going to show you like some really cool things that you can do inside TimeBolt once we just kind of go through Stitch and we'll optimize your workflow. But with turbo mode, who doesn't want to talk 12% faster and not sound like a chipmunk, right? And it doesn't increase your pitch, your octave. It literally just increases your words per minute and condenses down time a little more. I find that especially beneficial with unscripted video. Scripted, it's usually much more tight. So you just don't need that extra tempo that I found, especially if it's longer format. I hit apply turbo mode to each one of the, see, I can either apply it or adjust it, activate turbo, because some of these you have to apply the effects in layers to each one of the files. Apply turbo mode. Now I'm talking, because like I might decide to put at the end here a logo reveal or something like that I don't want sped up 12%, or we do some type of preview teaser that I also don't want. You want to have independent control of the different clips as you put them all together. And then at this point, you hit export video and you can export as 4K. It automatically chooses the frames per second of your first clip that you put in there. So this is all shot at 30 frames per second. And then I can download chapters text file if I had gone in and actually created chapter markers for YouTube. I haven't done that, but right here I hit export video and it's going to stitch all of these videos together into one and output as a single file.
With the cuts built into it.
With the cuts built into it. So I wouldn't even need to touch another editor. We made TimeBolt to where like you have this whole spectrum of workflows, and if we don't want you to have to go into another editor when you don't need to, especially when the cuts are what's important. YouTube video like you make with your large audience, I'm sure you add effects and design and depth and stuff like that. But just even communicating with video, quick video messages, we wanted to make it to where you didn't have to export an NLE if you didn't have to add design. So you hit export video. Now, what that doesn't solve for you specifically is the XML, right? So what you're looking for is the XML to be able to hit export FCP XML, and that gives you just one XML timeline so that you can then insert that into Final Cut Pro. And that's something that we'll have to look at doing and adding as a feature. I wasn't sure if you used XML that way, but that would probably be the best way to handle it. Do you agree, Quinston?
Sure.
But at this point, I wouldn't recommend using Stitch because it doesn't have the export FCP XML. So what you'd have to do here is basically export XML 4 times, copy and paste, throw it in a single project. But let's go ahead and see what we can do about getting editing as quick as possible to mitigate some of that time. Is that all right?
Absolutely. Yes. Thank you.
All right. Absolutely. So what I like to do, as soon as you drop this into TimeBolt, you're recording the same way each and every time. Once you get your settings right, you feel like you have your settings down. Well, like, do you want to show like what one of your timeline looks like? Can you show that just so we can see like
when I import to Bolt?
Yes, like right when you open up a project in TimeBolt, what settings are you working with?
Yep. After importing the XML, I still like to speed up the video while I'm editing because I'm crazy and I like to edit at like 2.5 speed. And when I do that, I feel like the start and the finish maybe changes. But that's a separate thing. But back to my timeline settings. Do you want me to share my screen?
Yeah.
So you see this?
All right, those are looking good.
So this is what?
Minus 40.5. Is there any reason that I highly recommend that you never change ignore detection shorter than off of 0.75. I don't know if you've tried this, and I've tried every combination on all types of videos. 0.75 really is just like this magical number that just catches the or you hit the desk or a random in the middle of something or just a random audio spike. But anything like less, it doesn't capture what it's intended to capture, and anything more, it might capture words. So 0.75, 0.01 left padding, which is great. That's why when we start talking, it's a much more defined audio waveform, so you can be very aggressive with left padding. And especially unscripted, 0.01 is great. In scripted video, I usually like to do 0.1 instead of 0.01, just to give just a little breathing room to the content, because the scripted is it has a different pace to it. And then the right padding, perfect 0.15, that will capture your trailing S's and T's. If it's scripted, I found that you can do 0.12 because like for some reason you're what the word is, so your trailing S's and T's just aren't as pronounced. So it really does come out to just be scripted versus unscripted profile. I 100% believe in that. So unscripted, you have the perfect settings right now. Did you hit update sounds detection settings? So let's take a look at the timeline. The first thing you're going to do is take a look at the timeline. Let's scroll through. As you scroll through and you're looking at the timeline, I'm not seeing any ends of words getting cut off. These are very clean. These are very clean cuts. That's perfect. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you on my timeline first what is possible, and then we're going to go to your timeline and we're going to turn you into the fastest video editor of anyone that. Okay.
Amazing. Love it.
Now we know we got your settings right. Now
Yes.
I'll just work on, I believe this is scripted video, unscripted. I would still be running check, looking for ums and ahs because we need it. That's why we invented the software, is because it looks smarter than real life. There's that issue, right? But I run check because I already know that my sounds detection settings are right. This could be 4 videos because I think that this video is like 10 minutes long, but 50 minutes of content. Right.
Yeah.
Like scripted is worse than unscripted video. Like when it comes to how much crap is in there, believe it or not, we're always finding like 65 to 70%. I used to be able to like just go directly into the quick keys and show you some like really cool like backspace. But our ability to go out and get these ASR transcripts and remove the bad takes and remove the filler words automatically is just so damn valuable. Check that out. Run retake detection. Okay. Believe it or not, there's not a bunch of fireworks. We have the most accurate detection possible because we do the processing local. Like we can actually do like how many lines we want to look ahead, because some scripted video, you may say the same thing kind of over again, a little bit different further on down the line, whether you may like, Loom, TimeBolt, the script, if it said at some different point in time, if you didn't have control, it may just remove both of those because it's looking at the sentences as repeated. If you would like, I don't know how much you use. How much you use captions? Do you use captions, Grant? Anything? Not really? Okay. What about for SEO value within the timestamp captions where you can put in on YouTube? Just for how you can add timestamp captions inside YouTube?
Yes. I've not gotten into that. I feel like I should. I'm totally interested in learning about it and hearing what you have to say and how time.
And that might be another interesting thing. I guess if you were going to do captions, or C captions, you would almost wait until the end of after you edited inside Final Cut Pro and you have your final video, you would then again drop that finished video that's already cut into TimeBolt, because you're dealing with multiple segments, right? You can copy and paste segments but it's just not that much. It's 3 cents a minute, right? We're near right at cost of what we pay to get these. They're the most accurate transcripts money can buy. So I hit turn off selected words. This video, the first thing I'm going to do is you put your preview playback at 1.5x. Grant, you like to go at like 2x speed, but I'll show you what that does. So this is me just setting up. So now when I hit my space bar, I'm going to be previewing automatically at 1.5x speed. Let's start recording.
Are you sharing your screen?
You go down here and you put this at 1.5x speed. Now I'm going to teach you the keys USOB. Okay. Yeah. Those are the 4 simple keys that you need to learn. Here, I'll start going through. Once I hit space bar, I'm previewing at 1.5x. Recording this song. Okay. This video course is about how to send rapid. This is already basically all cut up. It's going to be insane. So what I can show you is that was obviously when I was starting. Those would be unique things, right? All I would do to get where I'm at. Okay. I hit the B key. The B key is back cut. That means you back cut what you just watched. So you don't even have to stop the playhead. As I'm watching this. Video messages inside TimeBolt. Since before 2019. Hit the B key, didn't have to stop the playhead, right? It's been super easy to record a 10-minute video and send it in a link. So you have to ask yourself, why do people still take 30 minutes to write a 5-paragraph email instead? Social risk. I'd say it's social risk. It's what drove you to this video. TimeBolt is a Swiss. So I just heard. Still take 30 minutes to write a 5-paragraph.
I think you skipped over. It was on the right.
Rapid video messages inside TimeBolt. Since before 2019, it's been super easy to record a 10-minute video and send it in a link. So you have to ask yourself, why do people still take 30 minutes to write a 5-paragraph email instead? Social risk. I'd say it's social risk. So right there, I wouldn't have stopped the playhead, but I'm going to hit the B key, gone, right? So there's a bunch of other takes in there. Okay, there's a bunch of other takes, and then it ended up on the right one. But what it's not doing, it's not going to remove good content. We're like 98%, 99% accurate at keeping the good content, and 91% accurate when the others are with the text only are only about 80 to 85. And that's that extra 5-10% is actually represents quite a big significant leap in accuracy. So you'll have to do a little cleanup.
Yeah,
it's not that. It's simply not smart to send a 10-minute. So as we go through here, I hit you understand what the B key is, okay? O turns the existing scene off. O. Only you will be able to record a free and send as a. So I was actually just able to Gensu up, like if you're watching, you're like banger and an unlisted link with if preview. That's everything. You hit the O key and it automatically turns it off. You can delete large swaths of content that way. I'm just hitting kind of S, and then the S stands for split. So as you're going through, it's what drove you to this video. You're like, oh, I don't want this, and I want to cut in the middle of the timeline. I hit S, Okay, I don't go up here and click anything or like go here and hit create split. Okay, do not do that. It's literally 4 keys, USOB. Now, if I wanted to cut what happened before, what would I click? B, right? Back cut. Boom.
Right.
That part's gone. I'm gonna hit Command Z to undo that. If I wanted to cut what's in front of it, what would I click?
Oh.
O turns the scene
Oh.
off.
Okay.
Oh, like so O turns scenes on or off. Boom. That turned that front part of the scene off and left the back part. Right. So USOB.
Drove you to this video. TimeBolt is a Swiss Army knife of workflows, which includes the exclusive ability to send watchable video messages in an unlisted link.
Now, so as I'm going through this, USOB, U goes back 3 spaces, so you don't have to stop the playhead and then go back just to listen to what you have, right?
Social risk. I'd say it's social.
So I want to hit B. So when I say
it's what drove you to this video.
If I'm like, okay, I know that this is my last good take. This is what I do sometimes, scripted and unscripted video. It's called hold, okay? H. It's the H key. I can hit the H key, okay, because I know this is my last good take. Maybe I got a bunch of random crap and I don't know if I want to keep it or what I want to remove. I could want to remove the whole 3 minutes, right? But I want to keep this part. So what this allows me to do
to this video. TimeBolt is a Swiss Army knife of workflows, which is faster than you can record it. Every workflow you see here.
And I'm like, okay, I don't want any of the stuff that I just saw. Okay, let's imagine I was doing this for like 2 minutes, right? Going through and I'm like, okay, I don't want any of the stuff that I just had. I'm going to do Shift plus B, which is the back cut. That's going to cut everything up to this last hold point.
A super back cut.
The super back cut. And it's the super back cut. And now what I do, I don't click around in the thing. After that's back cut, I know this is my next good scene that I want to keep. And I hit H again. And now my hold is removed from here.
Okay.
A barrier.
Right. Okay.
So it's a cut barrier. What you don't want to do is not have a hold, okay, and hit Shift plus B because it's going to back cut everything, right? The hold is important. You got to use it responsibly. I hit Shift plus Z, undid that, and now all my cuts are back, right? So it's not like a big deal if you don't, but it's a big deal if you don't recognize that you haven't done it, right? Like that you don't have a hold. So then USOB, you've got the Shift plus backspace, the hold key, okay? And now the last thing is that I'm not sure do you do any type of punch work? Would you do any type of punch work inside TimeBolt? Have you tried it? Not sure what you do with zooms and punches and stuff like that.
Like pan or like
zoom in, essentially.
Yes. Okay. I've not tried it in TimeBolt, but I always am doing that in Final Cut. I've not tried it in TimeBolt yet. Okay.
Well, you have that option and it has its own little nuances. So I just punched in, I hit the P key.
210 words per minute, free, and send as
and when the next jump happens, it jumps back to the other punch frame. So as you saw, like, see, I'm like zooming in right here. So I can do, and this will export XML. So your frames will be punched in and punched out as
within XML.
Within the XML.
Does it make a split where the punch happens or
no? It doesn't. So it basically changes the transform values for the entire clip and it is not like baked in. You can't change it when it comes to Final Cut Pro 2. Because it's just the transform value that's changing. It's like 100%, 150.
It's doing it. It's jumping in between cuts, the red parts, right? It jumps in and out of punch.
Words per minute, free, and send as a banger in an unlisted link.
Now, I didn't.
So right now what happens is Doug is on the left side, right? Oh, sorry, on the right side. So what happens is you can also set like custom punch values in the settings. So if you have a particular template of video that you're making, like every video is the same, then you can set these custom punch values, which will always zoom into the exact part which you have in your video. So you can set to like 185%, for example. Doug has said 185%, but you could have something like maybe 125% or 130%, which captures your frame correctly. And then these will be directly exported into Final Cut Pro, which you can then just render out immediately. And you don't have to go into the settings and transform and change them. You can just press the P key once.
The P key cycles. So as you can see, center. I have this set on 125, 185, and 275. 3 different values. I can set these values, and sometimes it's how I just kind of do custom values. Like you can, like if I was like, man, I really could use like a 200% punch value at this deal. I go to settings, and I can put like, okay, I need to do 200% right here. Right now, I can come back down in here and go, boom, I'm at 200%. Right. So you can, and now I can go back. If I had something really specific, I could do the exact same thing. That's kind of a way to get fully custom, but we're making this to where this is a real quick, fast way to do ins and outs. As I'm going through, let me go ahead. And I wanted to get myself in the frame here. As I'm going through, I don't even have to stop the playhead when I hit P because P is going to remember the previous punch value. So if you've got a series of cuts, you don't have to keep going back and doing Alt or Enter. So to hit P, you cycled P, you hit P, and then Enter Alt plus your arrow keys allow you to cycle around, right? As opposed to going like this and this, like it allows you to cycle around. So option right arrow key, so right 125. So now as I go through.
Minutes or less. That's everything you need to get somebody to click and watch faster than anyone else on planet Earth. In this course, you will learn how to capture your webcam and screen, run silence detection and check automations, edit and fine-tune cuts with keys
So then I could
check automations. Edit and fine-tune cuts with keys USOB. Enhance what you keep with
it's just a much faster way to punch around inside content, and especially since it exports with XML, that's just a really good way to do that. One of the things that I would probably be a heavy user of if I was doing your type of videos, do you ever try fast forward? Have you ever tried fast forward silences?
Oh, yes. I've not tried it, but that's what I'm manually doing in Final Cut is like speeding up the like unboxing moments or like
Yeah.
demoing something moments or so I'm curious to explore it in TimeBolt.
Awesome. All you come down here is hit fast forward silences. Now, typically, we made this to where you could automate it. Okay, but like if you were doing if you were doing like if the order mattered and you want to show not tell, like, and you see mouse clicks, you might just and you don't want to remove and like you don't want to cut silence, you just want to speed it up. You would just do remove silences and then fast forward cuts longer than let's say a second or something like that. All of this would be it turns orange. All of that, anything less than a second long would be fast forwarded, not cut up to. I could do up to 4x speed, probably 3x. The only time you can add any time to a video file in TimeBolt is putting this at 0.5x. That's the only time
Slow motion.
any video. It's funny. It literally is the only time video gets longer in TimeBolt.
That's funny. Yes.
It's a video subtraction software. That's what we like to call ourselves. But so what that does is just by clicking this, the only time you're going to go up here and mess around with the bar above the playhead is if you're going to fast forward, okay? Because you're going to know what scenes you want to fast forward. So this may all be something that you like want to fast forward right through here. As you're not talking, you can come up here, hit S, split the playhead, and then I would change it from red to
Orange.
right? So what happens is that when you export this, and you can also choose, do I want to mute it or just go ahead and keep the sound? So I think keeping the sound doesn't break the flow. So I never really mute that. When you export this into Final Cut Pro, you'll actually see the sped up value. Is it a color? I can't recall. In Final Cut.
I think it's
orange. The same with Premiere. It actually shows up as orange.
Yeah.
So then all your fast forward work is done as well. At this point, it would just come down to you can't export XML and have a turbo mode applied. Okay, but I can show you how to do that. It just depends on.
Oh, you can find the keyboard shortcuts on that icon over there on the top right. So this is a list of the keyboard shortcuts if you want to like look them up.
Oh, good. Oh, thank you. Yes.
The USOB keys. Well, and we'll switch this over just to kind of see you just tap the keys, man, because then that'll get you going fast.
Yeah.
So the key is to like just Ginsu up that timeline, the section 1 of 4, 1 of 5, and then export XML, FCP XML. And then when we get Stitch to a point where we can export as a single file, you would just save it as a JSON file for your next file in. What I would do is after I go in, I do all the edits inside Final Cut Pro. Okay, I definitely recommend this for you. Come in here, drop the finished video back in. Do you do chapter markers or anything like that for
I
YouTube
need to.
chapters?
No, but I know
Okay,
I how to start.
Nice. Well, check this out. This is what I do. This is the finished Final Cut video. Like I typically would just do like 10 seconds because everything is important. This is the finished video. So what I would do at this point, I hit run check. Cost me like 21 cents or something like that.
Not bad.
We're splitting this, Quinston.
Okay. Now that I have a
You
choice.
get one up on me, okay?
I also had a question for later about the Scratch directory.
That's a good time to ask. Now's a good time.
It's telling me that I'm running out of Scratch space, I think. I didn't know what exactly that means.
So what's happening is that your disk is probably filling up your main drive and then you
Yes.
don't have enough space. It gives you a warning once the disk space is less than 10%. So you could switch it to a different disk if you want to, but as long as it's working, I think it should be fine. It just makes sure that you are aware that there is some space issues going on.
Yeah, I've just got too much stuff on my computer. Okay. But
It's not like breaking the software. It will still work. It's just giving you a warning so that you are aware that that's the thing.
Great. Okay, thank you.
We just ran uncheck, but we're not going to remove anything, right? The point isn't to like remove. The point was just to get the SRT file, okay? Because you're going to have highly accurate timestamp captions. Now what I do is I come down here, hit SRT. Here's my SRT file. I'm going to open this up, text edit app, and what you're going to see right here is all of the words timestamped of what you're going to keep. I just go down here, hit Shift, Command, Copy. Now, this is what I like to do. You're going to take this SRT file that you just downloaded, and that's going to be uploaded into your YouTube SRT captions. And that just helps. It adds the SEO value when it doesn't have to auto transcribe it. I think that extra effort that they're like, hey, maybe this is better video or something, one of those boxes. So that SRT file is going to work in and of itself. But now what you can do, I don't know, like if you're on like, doesn't matter what type of plan you're on, give me a YouTube description and chapters based on SRT. Like it's the basic prompt. But what's nice is now time accurate captions based on the file that you just used and real actual accurate timestamps. to where now all of this chapters work. You can figure out, do you want to keep all this? Do you, like, and it's about how you prompt, like only the most important moments.
Yeah.
I would never use like some shit like
that
this.
many. Yeah.
And I don't
But
even use GPT. I'm a Claude guy. So this is, but you could do this in free Claude, right?
yes. Yeah.
Or I'm sorry, free GPT. And tell now you've got that extra, you got your cuts, then you went in Final Cut Pro, did your design. You'll be running Uncheck twice essentially to get the files,
Right.
but this ending deal for 25 cents of all your descriptions and chapters and all that stuff are done. I find it extremely, that's how you do professional YouTube videos inside TimeBolt. There's also, if you ever start working with a designer, if you sometimes on YouTube, as you continue to grow your channel, you might develop your style. It's something that you can show somebody how to replicate. This is like what Matt Wolf does with future tools. He uses TimeBolt. He knows all AI. He's the king of AI. What him and his designer do, and what I do with my designers, I'll just save the FCP XML or the XML file, send the XML file along with the raw file. So now the designer starts with exactly what you find most important for your video. You eliminate a whole lot of back and forth of, instead of sending them 5 hours and then being like, well, why'd you cut this? Why didn't you keep, like, that's a nightmare. What you found is a way just to the accuracy, timing, which is the most important element. And then you can throw that to a designer and add in the effects and be done.
Yep.
Projects much faster. On one of my personal favorites, what I use a lot, I don't know if this, we have a best in class 4K screen recorder, right? It's this, like, you look up free 4K screen recorder, we're showing up #1 on Google because it's such an awesome screen recorder. Everybody has a screen recorder today, right? But what's interesting, this is free. You can record native 4K. You can do, you're on a Mac, obviously, with FCP XML. You get to choose between standard and high quality. So if you're giving feedback to a designer or just from your job, whenever it makes sense not to write a 5-paragraph email or schedule a live Zoom call where you can just get on and do a quick run through of giving creative feedback on something, use TimeBolt. I usually just do a standard, quick and small, end up with a 10 megabit file, not 300 megs, right? Something that's entirely watchable. I can do screen with camera. This is one of our, I love this thing, like our thumbnails. You can like make it small, put it anywhere, which is great. And then you can like be talking, go full screen, keep talking. And then when you switch back, like when you stop talking in TimeBolt, it just looks like you're switching around scenes. I can actually even change, if you're recording with TimeBolt, I can actually change real time when I'm recording the camera. So I could switch camera views with a real-time switch as it's actually recording. And then on Mac, this is the other important thing, Grant, is that if you have a MacBook Pro or something like that, our screens are 16 by 10. They're not 16 by 9. So when I record on my screen, we now have a thing called Smart Crop, okay? And it goes in and figures out your screen resolution. So now if you were to record with a normal recorder, it would look like, and you put this on YouTube, you'd have black bars at the top and bottom of the recording because the screen is actually 16 by 10. Well, if you use TimeBolt, just do this, and you can also do square, you can do vertical, stuff like that. But it really helps with Macs and record straight right screen size. And then once you get done like recording a video, are you on a monthly or annual plan or something?
I don't remember. I think annual, maybe.
Perfect.
Maybe.
Well, you have full access. You'll have full access. Don't forget this. It's a great tool for you. After you record your video and it auto cuts in TimeBolt, you throw your turbo mode on because you're probably talking to somebody. You could talk at like 1.2x. You hit this button, okay? You hit this button, and this will export and upload to an unlisted link. Think Loom, but doesn't suck to watch. That's kind of, there's not going to be any cuts in this. No. What this will do is it'll actually export, and when it opens up inside of our Banger link, you can copy the email snippet and have like a full-on GIF preview that you send inside emails and stuff like that. So you have everything you need to get somebody to click in and watch a video with our Banger technology, which takes TimeBolt from just a video editor to complete video communication software for work in YouTube.
That's incredible.
That's the bonus. It's just a bonus for you. Would you like to click around on the keys on your timeline just to kind of see?
Sure. Yes, because I think that's what I need to start making a habit out of, is how to do that.
Good enough. I don't care.
What's the first thing you're going to do? Put the preview playback at 1.5x.
Yes, thank you. And the beginning of my videos is always me like frustrated.
Click on the timeline. Click on the timeline.
Oh, here we go. Okay.
Good enough. I don't care.
So
Get pissed off, throwing stuff.
yeah, exactly. Like, I just gotta get this going.
There's one more trick, by the way. So if where you're going to start the video from, you can just take the timeline to that point.
Yeah.
We're going to start from here, right? Stay here and press Shift B.
Shift. Oh, that's right.
And now everything before that is gone. So you're going to start, and then you can just start from there, press Shift B, everything before it is gone.
Okay, next we have another group. Next we have another band.
So as you're doing that, okay, what are you going to do? I want you to focus on not stopping the playhead because you're going to use the keys. B is one of the most important keys to ever been invented.
Yes.
Okay, because that just, you don't even have to stop the playhead. So as we start,
Okay, next we have another girl group. Next we have another group. Next we have another band. I have 4. Next we have another pop.
Ah,
band.
Pete,
Okay, next we have
there
another
you
top
go.
band. Three of the four members. Two are new in box, new-ish. The other one is out of the box. So we'll save this one for last. So we'll save this out of box scroll. So that we
so
can get
if
the
I
full
wanted to do a
experience of what these dolls
split,
would look like in their
I could do
Split,
a
yeah.
S.
Yep.
Oops.
No, never touch that.
The other one
Yeah,
is out of the box. So we'll save this one for last. So we'll save this out of box scroll.
So
S,
there's
hit
some
S. Just don't
here.
worry about moving around. Oh, okay. You can do it. You can just put your cursor where you want to split.
B.
And so,
Box scroll.
Oh, B.
so you split it, right? You split it, but
Yeah, I split it.
You see the white lines at the top.
Oh
so
my gosh.
hit Command.
So yeah, if you're
This
side,
is a
the white
starting
line.
So just hit Command Z, and what that's going to do is undo the split. You're going to see that little white line. There you go. You did it twice. Good. Now go back to that place that you want to split anywhere.
Okay,
But
next we have
yeah.
another top band. I have three of the four members. Two are new in box, new-ish. The other one is out of the box. So we'll save this one for last. So
So somewhere right.
Hit
around
S.
this one for last. So
Now don't move. Don't hit Command
sorry.
Z. You're moving. So this is what you don't have, like, we're going to try to remove the mouse. Okay. Even though, because that's what takes forever. So keep
Yeah.
going.
new-ish. The other one is out of the box. So we'll save this one for last. We'll save this out of box scroll for last. So that way. So that we
Okay.
can
Now
get
stop.
the last.
Now,
So that way.
there you went. You saw you do it. You back cut
Right.
it out there.
I
You
tried.
did.
I think for the start, you should pause it for now at
Yo,
least.
I didn't know he was like,
There's one more way to do it, is that by using your arrow keys, you can just like move it around.
Oh, that's helpful.
You can use your arrow keys if you want to like
Yeah.
place it accurately. If you press the shift and arrow key, it will jump 10 frames both sides.
Oh, nice. Oh, that's really
So you don't need to touch your mouse. You can just pause and then use the arrow keys to like position it where you want.
nice. Right. Because it's all of the pausing and going back, pausing and going back.
Yeah. Doug wants to do it everything in one go, but it's probably
Well,
fine
that's
if you like
the
pause
goal.
it for a bit.
there's a difference between cutting like straight up, like splitting a timeline and cutting out the middle part versus you're cutting off the rear of the
Front and back.
of the back. Because if you're cutting out the front and back, that's when you're like, you don't want to move your playhead again. You just want to hit your S and then hit B to back cut what's before, or O to turn what's coming up off.
Is out of the box. So we'll save this one for last. That we
Look at me. I keep pausing. But if I want
Sorry.
to get rid of here, S,
Yep. B.
E,
There you go.
and then is it U? If I just want to like go back a little bit.
Correct.
Okay, next we have another top band. I have three of the four members. Two are new in box, new-ish. The other one is out of the box. So we'll save this one for last. So that way you can get the full experience of what these dolls.
Then if I want, there's like so that way S, B.
This one for last. So that way you can get the full experience of what these dolls.
One more keyboard shortcut is the down key. So if you want to go to the start of the clip, press the down key, and it will take the playhead directly at the start of the clip.
I didn't even know that one.
So you don't have to touch the mouse at all. I do it completely by like keyboard. I don't touch the mouse. So once these keyboard shortcuts will be much easier. Down is for back start. Up is for the end of the clip. Left, right. Shift plus left, right. And then if you press if you want to go to the next green one, you press shift and up. So shift and up goes to the start of the next green one.
We can get the full experience of what these dolls would look like in their, of what these dolls, full experience of what these dolls would look like in the packaging. Let's start with this one.
So let's see.
Full experience of what these dolls would look like in the packaging. So that we can get the full experience of what these dolls would look like.
So somewhere around here, S, but that, and then
Generally, you would run check before you do the retake detection. So that everything is gone with way too many retakes in this video.
You got quite a few retakes. So I would definitely run uncheck, man. I don't know.
Yeah, but I think you got the basics down. You use the arrow keys and you use the USOB keys, and then you combine them to basically be able to. Once you get the muscle memory, it'll be really fast.
Exactly. Right.
Remember, so hit the O, hold O down a couple times. Good. Oh. See, I just automatically just cuts that whole section. You could be in the middle of something that was a redo because you're like hitting the back key, you just hit O because it goes right to the next one. But if you miss it, you hit the B, right? But I actually end up using B the most. It's
the most,
definitely the most key. And then so if you go to, you can do your fast forward, down there. And then so for example, let's say you want to zoom into your hands, you're already in, make sure you're in the green part.
No, it's fine. It's already in there. Just press the P key. Press the P for punch.
Yeah.
You can further in. Okay. Now press the option key and press down. Option and down. So now you're looking at the box. So you can use option and arrow keys to like go whichever section you want to go to.
New-ish. The other one is out of the box. So we'll save this one for last. So that we can get the full experience of what these dolls would look like in their, of what these dolls. I hope it will be worth it. And I hope it will have been.
Yeah.
So as you're going through,
It's coming up.
and as you're going through, you can also just hit P to where you don't have to stop the playhead if you're in flow.
Yes.
Right? There's going to be times when that really is important because you're going to be talking, you need those sentences, but you want to stay focused in on the box. You don't want to have to stop the playhead, alter the P, just know that you can hit the P key and it maintains your position.
Whenever I'm in Final Cut, I'm wishing that I had these kind of just single keyboard clicks and wishing that I wouldn't have to stop and go back and start so much. So me getting used to this, I think is going to be a game changer.
Because then Final Cut becomes fun. Then you can go back in and fall in love with design. Like like it is an amazing scenario. Like if people just looked at editing like, okay, I've got to remove. The first step of this is getting rid of all the stuff I don't want, right?
Yeah.
And getting the timing perfect. And then the second part is, if necessary, depending on the size of the audience and like the person, it's adding your design elements. But you can leave TimeBolt with a fully cut timeline. Your goal is not to have to cut anything in Final Cut. By the time you're in the Final Cut, oh wait, maybe I just don't even want to talk about this entire subject. Like,
Sure, right.
but that's a whole different value proposition than like wading through and figuring out what's important.
There's no way to, when you're going through and you're cutting, to see only the green.
That's by design. We want it to be easy to be able to bring back the reds. Yes, because in Final Cut, for example, if you move a bunch of clips and if you want to bring them back, you have to press Control Z a whole lot.
Yeah.
Or sometimes you just like, they're completely gone. They're not even in the stack in there. You can't bring them back. So here, like the idea is to like be able to cut up the timeline really quickly, but in case you miss something, to be able to quickly bring it back as well. But as I told you, if you don't want to see the reds and you want to skip it, you can just press Shift and up, and we'll just always take you to the next green one. Shift up, it always takes you to the next green one.
Yeah, that's how to put that up. Remember, you got the H key, which I think is going to be really important for you. So, like, look at all that.
Right. All
like,
of this stuff where I'm not even.
You're like, I'm definitely want that, right? And then keep going.
Yeah.
And
Shift B.
Like,
B, so that way.
It's all.
And just remember, just like, this is my next good segment. You just do the H again.
I have so much of that where I'm done with this. So now I'm clearing off the table, grabbing the next stuff, but the camera's still recording. So getting rid of all that stuff in the SB, right?
Yes.
Or Shift B.
Look at the hang of it.
I know I gotta practice. What's it called? Like
The
hesitation
muscle memory.
of learning
No,
something
it's
new.
a hating. No, that's the thing. Like, that's the challenge of TimeBolt. I'm actually getting ready to do a brand new onboard video where I'm trying to get people into TimeBolt much faster because there's so many like nuances. People are used to like AI. They're like, hey, you can go to the script, right? And like click a few buttons and you're like a couple buttons and you're like, oh, now I've got like this edit by text, and you got your dopamine hit. But then one click and then 47 fixes, right? People would rather just go back and fix something 47 times every video and take 3 times longer than necessary than to learn how to just click the 4 keys, because that's how you're able to Ginsu up this timeline so fast at preview speed. We're always glad when somebody comes on and we're able to teach somebody new keys.
I so appreciate it. Like, seriously, this is great. This is very helpful.
Absolutely. And we definitely hear you on the Stitch to XML. When we get that feature, we'll definitely look, and love to have you back on and get your feedback on it.
That'd be incredible.
Are there anything else that we can help you with today?
I think that's essentially it. It's really, I got to get comfortable, build up that memory, that muscle memory with using the keys and figuring this out, because I think that's also going to help me so much before going into Final Cut.
May I ask you, how did you find TimeBolt? Like, what made you think of?
I would just dream of something that could do this, something that could cut out all of the dead air and everything. So I was looking up programs and softwares that could do this. I remember trying Descript maybe like 6 months ago or so, but I didn't like fall in love with it. I think the word-based editing just wasn't for me. I really am someone like, I need to see the video and hear me delivering it to know that it's the one that I want. I like that this is like a audio wave base of editor. So
you just found it on Google?
Googling. I was just Googling. Exactly.
Okay.
I was trying to type in, I might have asked ChatGPT, what are the best video editors to remove that error?
Doug is so happy right now.
Benchmark tests against every major competitor. TimeBolt, Descript, Gling, Premiere Pro, freaking, there's a lot more. But you can see all the different filler words missed. Because we use waveform cut technology and then the hybrid, that's what allows us to have the high accuracy words getting cut off and stuff like that. So this is why you were able to find us inside of AI. And this is a pretty good video too.
It's a dream come true.
Very much appreciate your business, man. We very much appreciate your business, Grant. Thanks for coming on and asking these questions on the show. If you don't mind, we'd like to throw this up on YouTube after for live office hours and have a conversation on there.
Absolutely. I'm so grateful for the support and the help. So thank you.
Awesome, Grant. Come back and let us know how things going. Congrats again on the channel. You got a very successful channel. It's growing, and I'm going to ask my daughter if she watches it as well. You definitely have a new subscriber. He loves dogs and stuff. So awesome. Have a good one.
You as well. Take care, guys.
All right, thanks,
Bye-bye. Take care.
And that's it for this episode of TimeBolt Office Hours. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and of course the notification bell when we go live. And we're out of time.
Bye-bye. Take care.
Say goodbye, Quinston.
Bye-bye. Take care.